Hello, TSD. Can you promote everyone to a panelist, please?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. We'll get started here in just at 10:35. I just need to finish setting this computer up in 100B, but I'll be back here shortly. Thank you for your patience.
What's everybody doing?
I'm good for a Monday. How about Elisa?
Well, I just got back from vacation in Utah, so I got to see my grandson and my kids. So it's pretty good for a Monday. I purposely took off last Thursday and Friday so I'd have time to just vegetate. Right. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm here.
Yeah. Like looking at this little spot with the way my chair is looking, it looks like I've got a horn there.
Oh,
how was Utah?
It was nice. Last time I went, it was really smoky because of all the fires in Arizona. But it wasn't smoky this year. So that was good. But their air quality's gotten worse in Utah. It's just, it's kind of sad because when I lived there, it was really nice. But it's in the traffic. Oh my gosh, it's nothing like when I lived there. So
I don't think there's any place that's sacred anymore.
yeah. Well, I think I lived there at the best time. And the place
There
that
you
I
go.
lived in north of Salt Lake is still very nice. That suburb area is very nice. The traffic's not as bad going north as it is going south. So yeah, it's good to see my friends and my family.
How's the grandbaby?
He's 3 years old. He's a cutie, but he doesn't look anything like my family. He looks like the lady's family, his partner's family. So that's kind of disappointing because they were such cute little, my kids were such cute little blondies, and it's like, it's like that's not continuing in that generation. But who knows what his personality would be like? So who knows?
I do know. I do understand that.
Yeah. So, but all in all, it was fun. I got used to eating out, so now I'm back home thinking, oh God, I have to make something to eat. It's the hard part.
I get that one too. I do.
Yeah.
It's actually, I got up this morning and I thought, oh, I don't have very many leftovers. I better figure out what I'm going to do for lunch.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. I think I was able to overcome the computer connection issues here in 100B. So appreciate everybody's attendance this morning and patience. I think we have a pretty good attendance today. We have a guest from the public today in 100B. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Tamby Michael Cassidy. I've met you before, Monroe County resident.
Well, welcome. Thank you for attending today. I'm sorry, I'll go ahead and get started. Do the call to order. And we have in attendance, we have Maggie, Alicia. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Martha, Rebecca, Michael, Dorset, and we have Tron in the room as well. And myself, Adam. So for the big collaboration items, I know that Christy said she had another meeting this morning and would not be able to make it. So she had just written in here for the big collaboration items about CBU doing the stormwater newsletter. So that sounds like a very exciting way to interact with the public and to get information out to the public about upcoming events, to have more engagement. She's talking about an ASM coming up on September 13th through the 15th and wondering if there's any carpooling that will happen. So I think we can coordinate that with that later. And then, okay, so I had written in here about some conflicts that had come up with the scheduling of this meeting. And I know previously this year we had talked about just increasing attendance and possibly having a different time and date for the suite meeting. So we did complete a survey that determined a few things. Monday mornings at this time seem to be the most available for the participants of that survey. Wednesday was another possibility, was a little bit less responses for Wednesday, but we, kind of struggled this year with attendance and participation. So if there's something that we can change that is relatively minor and is, increases of attendance and participation. Just like to discuss that, but does anybody have any thoughts on the time and date of this meeting?
Do you want to discuss that now, Adam?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's possible there might be other people that attend later on in the meeting, but let's put a placeholder on that for now. But we'll keep that discussion for the very last part of the meeting. So okay, so moving on to agency updates. Maggie, would you like to go first with Friends of Lake Monroe?
Yeah, we are gearing up for our big annual Lake Monroe Day on Sunday, September 17th, and we'll have a week's worth of events. Hiking, biking, kayaking, pontoon boat rides, shoreline cleanups, water treatment plant tours, trying to hit a little bit of everything. And then our big celebration will be Sunday night at the Upland Wood Shop. And that'll also be a fundraiser for Friends of Lake Monroe. Besides that, I'm just focused on, we're doing a cost share program in the watershed, trying to encourage conservation practices, working with Martha on that, and also in Brown and Jackson counties. And I don't have a whole lot else of updates to report.
Maggie, can I ask, is there some place we should be sending people to register? I just see to contact you for more information. Is there a event page or something?
It's a little confusing. It's on our website. We've got an events page that's got everything. And so it's different registration for each event. So if people go to friendsoflakemonroe.org and then click on the events link, they can find whichever one they want to do and register that way. Good question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for those updates. And then I believe you had a cookout planned for October 22nd. Is that still okay? I think
in October, the DNR is sponsoring a Monroe Lake Cleanup Week. And so there'll be a week's worth of shoreline cleanup events at the lake. And then the final event is supposed to be a cookout, which I think has been confirmed. I was waiting to hear from Jill Vance. But yeah, I can circulate the info on that, and there's an Eventbrite link. So I'll send that to you to put in the minutes.
okay, that sounds good.
Maggie, do you
Okay.
have a flyer for any of those things?
Yeah, they're asking for registration for most of it.
If you could pop those over to me, that would be awesome.
Okay, can do.
Yes, but question, maybe for more than anyone, but did you go to the Indiana Water Summit? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the overnight approval and registered in time. I heard day one was actually completely booked. So they said they could do something special for me to show up on day two, but everyone that was presenting about Lake Monroe was going on Thursday. So I ended up deciding not to go this year, but I was wondering if you wanted to speak about it. And I'm not sure if you were part of the presentation or if you just kind of attended, so.
I presented, yes. So Thursday and Friday was the Indiana Water Summit. I think it was the 8th annual. And yeah, like Tron said, they had double the attendance of last year. So it was great to see so many people there. The focus was really trying to look at how do we manage water resources statewide. So there was quite a variety of presentations that talked about the quantity side of things, the flooding management, the water quality, the drinking water treatment, like the whole gamut. So I presented on Thursday along with Kat from City of Bloomington Utilities, and just kind of gave an overview of what does watershed planning look like and who are the key partners and how does it work. And then she talked more specifically about how the water quality in your source makes a big difference in your drinking water treatment and how expensive it is to treat a problem after it's happened compared to trying to prevent it. In this case, the harmful algal blooms, and how complicated it is to get those out of our water and make it safe and also tasty for drinking. So It was a good discussion. There was another watershed group there as well from the toe of Indiana, talking about their watershed where they have some kind of different issues. They're dealing with coal mine acid drainage and some other things. And so we could sort of compare and contrast what does watershed planning look like around the state.
That's awesome. Too bad I missed it. They did say that they're attempting to record these and send them out. So if anyone's interested, look out for them in the next couple of weeks. I also heard that they're going to give all of those recordings to elected officials for free. So
yeah, they do a white paper every year that's 5 or 6 pages that really summarizes what was discussed at the summit and what the action items are. And they get that to all the elected officials.
that's super cool. Thanks for expanding on that, Mike.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. So next on the agenda is Monroe County Solid Waste Management District. Melissa, would you like to go next?
Okay. Well, there's going to be a SPIA, a graduate student mixer for environmental not-for-profits tomorrow afternoon, evening from 3 to, I think, 5:30 or something like that, 3 to 6. So that's something that I'll be attending. There's usually I see Maggie there, some other organizations. I just got back from vacation, so I'm just sending out my district curriculum this week to get teachers on board to book for the academic year. So other than that, I really don't have anything at this time. It's just the normal start of the year, and I'm hoping it will be a normal academic year this year.
Absolutely. Okay, and then thank you for that update. And then for City of Bloomington, Rebecca, would you like to share updates from City of Bloomington Parks and Rec?
Well, we co-hosted a Hoosier River Watch basic training with Monroe County Parks and Rec. We have 7 new Hoosier River Watch volunteers now added to the system, which is great. Hoping that IDEM will try to have another instructor training sometime this year, but it's not looking hopeful because the 2 people in charge of that, one of which is on paternity leave now, won't be back until late October, and that's kind of closing the window already for stream monitoring. So just wanted to mention that, and I know some of you in this group attended the instructor training, so just reminding you all that if you want to host your own basic training for both either internal staff or the public, just let myself or Autumn know and we can be supporting of that. Outside of that, Bugfest is coming up. Some of you on this call have already responded to the exhibitor call out email. Thank you so much. Elisa, shout out. She comes every year. Thank you so much. This will be our official 10th year because we did have to cancel once because of COVID. So this will be 10th year official. Martha, I have you down still as a maybe for soil. Maggie, I don't think you responded yet, but if you're interested, and Adam, I know you said Stormwater is not able to attend this year, so we did ask somebody from Hoosier River Watch and IDEM to join us, and they're still planning on it. We just might need to help them kind of stock their table, collect the river critters.
It's a fun event and tons of people attend.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
year was over 1,500. We did have to move it this year to Karst Farm Park, and that was because Hilltop can no longer host the event, mostly because of limited parking. They planted a bunch of trees in the open grass area that we used to use for event parking, and we were already maxing that out. So a little tight now. So we've moved it to Karst Farm Park. That's going to be on September 23rd, 10 to 2. We are still looking for exhibitors. So if you or you know somebody, or if you just want to volunteer, and Maggie, I know your network is strong with volunteers, just kind of get the word out. It's definitely going to still, as Elise said, fun event. So check it out. I put some links on the agenda for easy access. And then outside of that, the next day is World Rivers Day. This is a program that actually my predecessor used to do that I found in an old program guide, and I was like, oh, we should bring that back. Let's celebrate. So we're going to do a creek cleanup at Switchyard Park on World Rivers Day. That's on September 24th, 1 to 3 p.m. Pretty traditional, help clear debris and trash. We'll provide the gloves and the buckets and trash bags. We just need people's time and energy. And our program season for Parks and Rec actually just started. It officially goes live tomorrow. Registration opens. If you haven't already received our fall program guide, that should be in the mail and coming to you shortly. And so just all this is kind of, now we're really starting to promote it all. So help us get the word out. That is it. If anyone has any questions.
Okay, Maggie, thank you for the link that you just sent. As you were speaking on Hoosier River Watch, I was thinking about USGS stream gauges and the lack of USGS stream gauges in Monroe County, and just like to have that as a discussion, like how should we communicate to USGS on the possibility of that being put forth? So I know there's a lot of work being done to monitor streams in Monroe County and waterways. So I think that would be an important component of future stream monitoring and watershed plan development. So nothing that we have to figure out right at this moment, but just like to introduce that as a topic, that what is the best way and how should we go forward with that? But,
Yeah, well, first step, I would just encourage you, check out Hoosier River Watch's website. It is a database that is completely accessible to the public and other agencies, and you can see everywhere, every stream that's being monitored, when the data was submitted, what data, how often, what volunteer. They try to keep it pretty intuitive by starting off with just, here's a map of Indiana and a bunch of dots, zoom in on what dot you're interested in. But if you want more specific, you can reach out to Hoosier River Watch and say, I want all the data, an Excel spreadsheet of just Monroe County streams. They can provide that. And I was on, and Martha, I believe you want it too. And I'm forgetting because there were so many of those committees, but on one of the watershed steering committees, when they were working on that new watershed management plan, they pulled a lot of the data from Hoosier River Watch.
There's a lot of data already honestly out there, Adam. It's probably just not compiled in one place. It's piecemealed all over the place. But yeah, Rebecca's 100% right. You can get a ton of information. So Hoosier River Watch in Monroe County specifically it dates back over 30 years for sure, the data that they should have on our collective streams and whatnot. As well as NRCS has some, IDEM has some, we could gather data like that from all over. So.
Okay. And I see that Michael put a chat message about this was looked into a few years ago and it was cost prohibitive. So that's understandable. I just more than my plate as a whole for watershed plan development, we'll need to have a stream gauge if we're going to do TMDL, be involved with that. And so, I think it'd be worthwhile to continue to look into this. So that we have that.
Adam, just to jump in, this was mentioned at the Water Summit last week, and the USGS and U.S. Army Corps and DNR Division of Water are talking about doing a statewide study to try and identify where are the bigger gaps, streams that are not monitored. Their criteria, I don't think are going to prioritize Monroe County, because their big issue is, they're talking about how we all tend to have these reactionary approaches that a city floods, and then you're like, oh, we should be doing something there. Oh, we haven't been monitoring the stream flow there. We should probably have a stream gauge there. So they're trying to get ahead of that kind of concept. And so really target areas where they can anticipate there are likely to be issues and get better data to be able to plan better for those issues. And a lot of that comes from a flooding standpoint, less so from a water quality. But the other thing to keep in mind is the USGS, when they put those stream gauges in, they have to have a partner who helps cover the costs. And like Michael said, it's pretty expensive and it's an annual expense. We were involved in getting the stream gauge put on South Fork Salt Creek. So if you ever want to talk numbers, I'd be happy to share that information. But that's the other thing to keep in mind is we can't just ask for one, we also have to come up with local funding for at least part of it.
Absolutely.
It's all about the money.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you for all those comments and input about that. So yeah, I think, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, sorry.
I think it's important to be up to date on what was done in the past and, you know, what, like you mentioned, Maggie, you know, if it's gonna be put in, how is that gonna be supported moving forward? This is the costs and the location is important, obviously, that flooding issues are important, so if that's what moves the priority as far as I should engage, that makes perfect sense to me. So.
My question just goes back to the cleanup day at the switchyard. Is there any like Facebook invite page or anything?
No, our program guide goes live tomorrow. So following tomorrow, we'll have a web page created and a Facebook event should go live on Thursday.
Okay.
I was
Cool.
actually just checking them. Like they didn't post on the website early, but no, tomorrow is when it all goes live.
Sounds good. I was just trying to share things out as I was here.
And appreciate the discussion on stream gauges and from Rebecca. As I mentioned, Christy is not going to be present today, so she had put in a few events that have already happened or that are ongoing. So I did want to go over a few of these as far as adopt a drain. There's CDU is still accepting applications. The deadline for residential stormwater grants is approaching on September 1st. And then they held their their first workshop on July 25th. And that was the landscape education workshop. I'm sorry, that was held on July 26th. It was well attended. See if we can get some numbers that I can put in the minutes, but it looks like Chrissy was looking forward to working on this in the future and open to suggestions on what went well and what maybe could be improved on that. Unless there's any other discussion on CPU that's on the agenda. Okay. All right. And then Michael, did you have any updates you'd like to share with the suite? It looks like Michael might not be available at the moment. So, okay. So we'll go on to upcoming events. Looks like the Monroe County Iris native plant sale is coming up on September 9th. Looking forward to that. And Aspen coming up September. There's Miller Towers Park Tour, which I'm looking forward to doing that. And then Peden Children's Farm. You know, a lot of agencies were out there last year, so that was good. And then as Maggie mentioned, like road cleanup. Okay. And then CBU is also working on a storm drain marking program and a stormwater landing page that will help people determine what programs they might want to participate in. So that work is still ongoing on that. And then I think that's it for CBU. Martha, would you like to share updates from soil and water?
Sure. So we have the Beam Blossom Watershed Planning Grant that should go live if IDEM pulls all of it together around the late part of fall. We also just submitted the NOI for Indian Creek. And Sarah Peel is our watershed coordinator who's working on those projects for us. Sentinel Landscaping has given us a pretty good letter of support for Indian Creek because that's a big target area for them because of where it's located. When I started many moons ago, we had layer money down there, did quite a bit of work in layer, but that since went to sleep. And so now we're just hoping to get back at that one. We are the headwaters for that watershed. So to me, anytime you can look at the headwaters of a watershed and be involved, then that's a very important piece of the pie. That's where the water starts, so to speak. So there's that. Let's see, what else? We will be at Peden Farms Children's Farm Festival. Also, there's the Environmental Education Day for Fall Festival, which we'll be at. Still trying to confirm on Bug Fest. We're not quite sure about that one. The Soil and Water Board has, as of last meeting, they want a monthly newsletter out from us. So I am working with Erica. So Hannah took a new position. She's a ag FFA advisor for Medora High School now. And we have filled the position for the grant funded position that we have currently through the end of December 24. So Erica will be with us through the end of then. Her focus is not as much stormwater. We're trying to work through the focusing and the redrafting of where we're at here. So at some point we'll get you introduced to her.
I just want to ask you, I haven't had an email regarding Peden Farm. When is the date for that?
I will have to look. I can pull up my calendar.
September 28th and 29th.
It's always the last Thursday, Friday of September, Elisa.
Okay, I'll mark on my calendar. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't send out an email. That group tends to use Facebook as their communication platform. And
how can I be sure I'm invited to that then?
Email me. You're always
Okay.
invited. There's a standing opening. You always have a spot. So there's no, yeah. You always have a spot. You're good.
Okay.
And anybody else who wants a spot can have a spot. They'll find a place to put everybody. So anyway, there's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else critical for SWEET purposes.
Do you want to talk about the letter of support? Maybe you've already reached out to everybody.
I've reached out to most everybody. If anybody out there feels I've not reached out to you and you would love to give us a letter of support for either Bean Blossom or Indian Creek. Indian Creek's the one we need right now because we're getting ready to submit the application. But yeah, I would be more than appreciative of any of those.
And you need it by August 16th, correct?
Yeah, the applications are actually due mid-September, and IDEM wants us to send everything up so they can review it before it officially goes in. So yeah, that would be awesome.
That's 2 days from now. So.
Yeah, we got a little bit of lenience, but if I don't tell you 2 days from now, I won't get it. So.
Well, you just let the cat out of the bag, so I have 3 days. Okay.
There you go. You do. We'll give you 3 days. Drop. Yeah, Indiana Watershed Leadership Academy is opened up. So if anybody's interested in attending that hasn't, that's a good thing to do if you're interested in watershed work. Honestly, probably one of the best trainings I've ever done in all my years. So yeah, I think that's probably all I've got.
I'm sorry, Martha, did you say the name of the new resource technician? I didn't.
Yeah, Erica Eason, EASON. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Her background is more small farm, urban permaculture, urban ag, that sort of focus, soil health. That's kind of the focus we're looking at.
Thank you. And I think we had a chat message from Rebecca that you had one update that you'd like to share.
Yes, I can't believe I forgot because it completely rules my brain right now. Nature Days are starting less than a month from now. The first one is September 5th. I am a little desperate for facilitators, specifically for Creek Station. Macros and chemicals tend to intimidate new facilitators, and so they never want to facilitate at Creek Station, but it's a lot of fun. Maggie, I know, has been out before. Her mom is one of my VIP volunteers too. It is a little bit of a commitment though. It is 9:45 in the morning till 2 p.m. on Tuesday. So I included links to every date and I labeled them thanks to the help of my volunteer coordinator. So even if it's just one date, I really am grateful. We host every sixth grade elementary school student at Leonard Springs. And then we do fourth graders on Thursday at Griffey. I'm a little bit more covered for Griffey, so I'm really focusing your attention on Leonard Springs. So if you or any of your staff or anyone you know would be willing to be their facilitator or even just a group leader, which is just hiking the student groups around to each of their learning stations, I would be very, very grateful. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we had another chat message from Michael that they have a new education effort for IU, for household hazardous waste disposal information for all IU campuses around the state, and they'll have a new HHW page on the website that will display ads and building video screens, and also hope to do another stream cleanup this fall. So okay. And then I think that's all the updates. Andy, did you have anything you'd like to share with the group?
No, nothing
Okay.
specific, just wanted to check things out,
Sure.
see what you guys do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so as I mentioned at the very beginning, we were trying to find a possible new date and time for the sleep meetings. So as I mentioned, we did do a survey earlier this year where Monday mornings seemed to be the best time and date. However, that date could be moved. You know, it doesn't have to be the second Monday. It could be third Monday, or we can move the actual date and the time, of course. But is there any discussion on the meeting date and time?
I'd like it, the earlier the better. So 9 o'clock, I think, would work better for me.
Yeah, and I
I'll
know.
second that.
Okay. Unfortunately, if it's gonna be the second Monday, I have a standing meeting every second Monday at 9, so that would eliminate me for that particular time, unless we moved it to the third Monday or a different Monday.
All the Mondays are the same for me.
Sean, are they good or bad at 9?
In the morning, Mondays are open, so it doesn't matter if it's the first, second, third, fourth Monday of the month.
I have payroll on Monday mornings. Is it possible to send out a doodle poll again? It just now that we're
Yeah.
different season.
Rebecca, do you have it every other week on Mondays?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's not consistent on whether it'll be like the first, second, or third then.
Yeah.
I usually have programs Tuesday through Friday. Monday's my prep day, so
Yeah.
I don't like to do it on the other days personally.
For me, Monday,
Couldn't do it.
the earlier the better, because it just it just works better to be able to get the rest of the week going. And I like Zoom because then I'm not traveling. I don't have to come downtown. We can do this quickly and efficiently. And I know MC Irish only uses Zoom and it works very well. Team, Zoom, whatever, virtual. So
Yeah,
I would,
sorry.
no. I would vote for if we could pull off a 9 o'clock on a Monday.
Maybe the third Monday of the month.
Yeah, I think another poll is our survey. I'll do that, and I'll incorporate specific, the third Monday at 9. AM to see if, if we can get a ranking system, perhaps, that, we actually have time spots that are built into the survey, so.
Rebecca, do you feel like that being on that third one, we might miss?
Yeah, as you said, it's not always consistently. So if I have to miss, or I would just be a little late, I would just always make sure my stuff is added to the agenda. So I don't want to be the only wrench, because as you said, Martha, it's only so often Mondays I will have to miss that whenever payroll
just-
lands on it.
In my brain, I'm thinking that third one might miss it more.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And hoping to have my Adopt-a-Stream staff liaison, he'll have more availability again. And in the past, that person kind of goes as my proctor too, if I can't go. So all good.
thank you.
Okay. I appreciate all the discussion, and I think, yeah, the Zoom format is good. Like for this morning, it just takes me a few extra minutes, and I had a meeting right before this meeting, so I think that would be helpful for me if they could move it to a different Monday. So I wouldn't have to run from one meeting to the next, have time for setup and all that, but okay, I will work on another survey, and I'll get that out so we can, if we maybe move it for next month. The only other thing with the Zoom, I have to get PSD to change the Zoom information so that it's on the events calendar of Monroe County's website. So not that is impossible. That I just have to make sure that that's done. So okay. Well, unless there's any other discussion, I'm sorry.
My update's not in line, maybe with kind of any events or anything, but just the update from the surveyor's office. I'll focus more on the GIS division. In May, I got unanimous support from the county council to create a GIS technician position. They'll be coming on board here, hopefully in the next several weeks. So that means we have kind of a team of two, which finally means we have a team, and we can continue to help assist. A lot of the way we do this is we leave it up to people to come to us, and we'll help assist them as much as possible. We don't try to go out there and solicit people for more work, but occasionally that may have happened. Also, we're slated to be moved actually over on the north end of the shower. So virtually or in person, I'll probably still be attending the suite meetings in person as much as possible. And then I guess finally, we got support from the county commissioners as a venture with the TSD department to get an ELA here at the county, which basically means we are expanding our licenses. So the way that they do it is they recognize communities in a tiered system. So we'll have ample licenses to distribute to county folks, but also people doing things kind of outside of county that could be very helpful. We plan to start deploying that in the next couple of weeks. It'll be a little while, but ultimately there's 3 different levels, I think, of users. One's like kind of like a pro user, if you will. Another's like more of an intermediate, and then even a novice. And there's different ways to build out these GIS formats for those types of users and that type of management. So, if you're just wanting to plot a point on a map and like keep that data up to date, you'll probably work in a web GIS format, like experience builder or something to that effect. I won't go too far into it, but if you're really trying to kind of do like some like big analysis and bunch of data and kind of do some analytics, that would be like an ARC Pro, and we're going to have a handful of licenses. So just let us know, and we plan to start rolling that out. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna, you know, not just be county internal staff, but you know, like SWCD or the public library or soil or solid waste or something. I mean, we'll just have the opportunity. Again, we leave it up to you to kind of come to us for that type of service, but we'll have the ability to kind of give you the tools necessary to achieve those goals. And that's the game changer. We've been kind of hamstring with our licenses by like grouping people together. For instance, there's 4 people in my office that use the same login, but now we'll all have our own individual login, and we just create like generic names like county surveyor's office, but now they'll all be kind of tailored to each person and their kind of own profile. So it'll be kind of cool.
Sounds like a really powerful tool.
Yeah. Lots of steps, and getting in the new space, we'll have plenty of room to bring people in, to even house them there for a day or so if they're really wanting to get some hands-on experience and be able to help them really gain the knowledge and skill sets to manage these or deploy them. And then finally, Indiana Farm Bureau is doing their 2023 drainage school. I attend that every year. That will be, I think, the 30th. August 30th. Deadline to register is the 24th. It's a one-day thing. A lot of the topics are kind of similar to other groups like Water Summit or INASM, but I think this is delivered in a different type of way, because it's a different type of users there, you know, or people trying to learn that information. So I think it's very helpful because it kind of gives you a different perspective on the same topics that you've heard before. Also, you get a lot of insight of how, you know, people support these or, you know, might disagree with it. So I think it gives you a good way to understand how, you know, things are being rolled out kind of on a state level. And
Tron,
then, yes.
can I ask a quick question? I've been watching that to try to find out. I have a couple board members who want to go. Is that live on the site? Because the last time I looked, it wasn't.
I'm on it right now, looking at it.
I registered last week.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Deadline's the 24th.
Okay.
I can pop it in the chat real quick that where I'm at.
If it's on Indiana's Farm Bureau's home site, I should be able to find it. But I was but thank you. I'm glad to know that it's live. So.
And it's there, and they do have a in-person and virtual option. I'll be attending in person. It's not that bad of a drive. And like I said, it's a one-day event, so it doesn't really take you out of the workflow too much. And then in ASM, I plan to attend, but those days kind of coincide with our budget hearing. So I'm hoping that I have the opportunity to go. Not certain if I don't go. This will be the first year I haven't gone in probably like 4 or 5 in a row. So fingers crossed. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then Rebecca, at a side note, Parks is going to roll out a new asset management software, CityWorks, in 2024. It heavily depends on GIS data as the background, and it's managing work orders and tracking park entities. Okay.
Currently CBU uses it, and planning department is going to be getting on board as well.
It is a ESRI enterprise partnership. So what we use here is ESRI. So this is CityWorks is definitely kind of more of a finished product to do some of these things. So that's awesome to hear. I was already somewhat familiar with that. So yeah, I'm excited. The city is moving forward with a lot of their technology needs to help support things that we do here. We're discussing here.
Okay, well, I appreciate everyone's participation and input today, so I'll go ahead and call it for today, and I'll have the survey out here shortly. Unless something changes, looks like Monday, September 11th is the next sweet meeting, so hopefully
Everyone has a good week.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you. All right, hopefully it's not raining.